somebody asked me, they said, hey, do you know any jokes about sodium? And I said, nah.
Now, this is the Comic-Con's MTV Comics Stanley's The Seekers.
Let's bring the room up a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stan Lee.
Stan Lee! Oh my God, it's Stan Lee!
So before we get into the reveal of the story and the art, I was hoping for a little game with everyone here. The name of the game, about one word, is Save the Universe, so no pressure. Everyone in the room should have a card that has one of 9 symbols on it, unless you have that card. That makes you the gatherer. Does someone have that card?
What a great looking guy.
If the gatherer has that card, can they come to the front? Stand up, wave your arms in the air. Ah, there we go. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the gatherer. It's a pretty simple game. Everyone has a card in their hand, and you must trade that card at least once.
What happened to my picture?
You may only trade with someone 1 seat away. I was going to draw a little chart in the PowerPoint here to describe what this means, but essentially it's someone right next to you, right in front of you, behind you, or diagonal. So no getting out of your seats and running around the room, please. There is no limit to how many times you may trade your card. The win condition is to align the seeker's ancient writings, which I'll reveal in a moment, in the correct order. It is not the order that's down the right side.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the legendary Stan Lee.
The first group of 9 in a row to do this wins. That means in a row, 9 people stand up, have the cards in the right order that is shown on the screen, you win. The lose condition is the world ends, so again, no pressure. When you have the combination as confident as possible, jump up and down and wave your arms to get my attention. In the event of a tie, whoever I spot first wins. The gatherer will run to the first group who wave their arms in the air and confirm that they have the correct combination and are not lying. So again, here are the rules that you need to be aware of. And here is the order of the cards. You may start trading now.
That's the man right there. That is the man. Stan the man. It's awesome.
would you like to talk a little bit about your take on the shooting?
Well, one of the things that I really liked about this was this idea of these ancient aliens having been here forever. I mean, all over the world, there's these mystery spots that I want to showcase. I'm an insomniac. I'm up all night, and I listen to Coast Radio, and there's some wacky people in the world, and I want those people to not be so wacky. Some of them may be telling the truth. So I think that's what I'm gonna put in there is a little bit of some of those people aren't exactly out of their mind here. They know a little too much. So we'll discover all those weird and strange places. And I want to take our heroes all over the world and hopefully, hope you like drawing weird places because that's where we're going.
I don't have to pay the fare.
Oh no, we need field trips. We need field trips.
So what was your take on the characters? So for those who aren't familiar, the story of the Seekers centers around Arthur Gordon and Jennifer Hart. Arthur's an archaeologist who lost a couple members of his expedition recently, and a seeker was awakened in the desert of New Mexico. Death Valley, sorry. And then Jennifer Hart is a news correspondent who was trying to track down the story and sort of establish herself as establish her career as more of a legitimate news anchor, rather than sort of more sensationalist type of coverage she was doing in the past. So the Seekers are a race of beings from another planet that were planted here on Earth 200,000 years ago. And as a race, their job is to monitor other planets throughout many universes, determine when one of those planets grows to the point of technological and social advancement they become a threat to the rest of the universe. So the Seekers now on Earth, human beings have achieved that point in civilization, and the Seekers are now being awakened to determine if we are, as a race, fit to survive. So as they're awakened, those are our two protagonists are sort of caught in the middle of the story.
Yeah, so well, basically, I figured that there's not a lot of strong female characters in comics. I mean, if you've been reading any of the news on this happened to, Parvard, and this is happening to Starfire, and this is happening to Jake Grant, I want to make sure that without being a feminist thing, because I don't like that, I want the two characters, the male and the female, to be equal partners. It's not a guy's comic, it's not a girl's comic. I mean, my kind of idea of it was like Indiana Jones meets Fringe. So, kind of that kind of take to it, where it's a strong female, there's a strong male, it's a good company. And it just, I want everybody in this book is an outcast in some way. The reporter is not, she's doing the fluff pieces, but that's not what she wants, but because she's pretty and young, nobody's going to take her seriously. The archaeologist has been disgraced, so he's not, he's out on the skids. So I just want all these outcasts need a place. And I'm sure nobody in this room has ever been, an outcast at all. So I just want to kind of reach out and make it so that we know something. We know we're more valuable than people know. And I just want to kind of showcase that quite a bit.
Another woman who doesn't know her own mind. Can't you make the male a little bit more prominent than the female?
Well, a little bit, maybe.
A little bit?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk.
And Stephen Green, our artist, these are the pages that Stephen submitted. These pages were taken directly from Stan's treatment. So the writers, while they had to look at the treatment and develop a little bit of script that follows with several pages that Stan already laid out, and an overall treatment for how they would treat the graphic novel, the artists were tasked with taking the first several scenes that Stan wrote and translating them. So these scenes depict essentially a seeker's arrival on Earth many millennia ago, sort of just understanding the state of human beings at the time and knowing that this will be a race that will evolve to a certain point over a period of time. And then we jump right into the awakening of one of the seekers in a Las Vegas casino. So, Stephen, if you talk a little bit about your interpretation of the material, because it was written as a treatment, it wasn't laid out panel by panel, so you had the challenge of taking a great written story and translating it into comic form.
He's from the South. You may have trouble understanding. So I'm his translator. Take it, do the best you can.
How are y'all? It was written in a style where it wasn't laid out panel by panel. So I did have to try my best to find the story beats, the important things to hit on. There wasn't a page count, so I kind of just had to try to divide the material provided into a way where I could hit all the important beats within the 5-page limit. I really wanted to emphasize the expression of the characters. It's very important to me. I think it's one of the strengths of comics. And I wanted to emphasize, and going forward as well, I wanted to have characters that you could sympathize with, every single one of them, even if they're just a person in a supporting role or whatever.
So your take on the look of the Seekers, actually a lot of artists did this a little differently because we weren't super descriptive in the treatment. They were humanoid, and they were written in a way where they could blend in, but some artists, and we'll reveal some of the other finalists on the site soon, so you can see some of the art that Steve went out of. But some of the artists took different directions with the Seekers, made them a little bit more alien. What made you pick this particular look for? She doesn't have a name yet, but this young lady who is one of the Seekers, and the design for her bracelet, which is described in the treatment, but not obviously in as much detail as you might have.
I think I chose to make her just kind of your standard pretty girl, because in the treatment, there's this idea that the gentleman that pays for her shirt is kind of coming on to her. And so to me, that suggested that she should be,
Come on, get out the way.
I guess if I drew her really, really alien, I think it would
Thank
be
you.
off-putting that some guy would try to hit on her and invite her back to his place. If she had like spider legs and stuff. But as far as the bracelet, I put a lot of thought into it. I actually redrew it many, many times. And I wanted it to look futuristic, but gosh, I don't know. I just drew a bunch of bracelets and I stuck with the one I thought fit the story the best. So.
That's real talent, being able to draw a futuristic bracelet. He's really very modest. He's better than he sounds. Did you understand everything he said?
So, that's essentially what we have for today, but we do leave a lot of time for questions. So there are 2 mics, one in each row here. If people have questions,
Can I go before the questions start, because I have another panel and I won't know the answers anyway. So let me just congratulate you.
And there's Stan.
So people know, after this, he is doing a signing of the Blood Red Dragon comic book at booth 2930
Stan's leaving the building.
under the 3000 sign